Scene one, interior kitchen. Lee, Mike, and Beth are getting food ready for the party. The salad needs a little more oil.
Is this turning you on?
It's hot.
See how you're slipping? It's the two of you with the knives that...
It's the bread.
I have not had carbs for a week. I've been on this cleanse.
How long have you been cleansing for?
Oh, about 21 days. I've had my juice smoothie earlier today, and I do feel very, cleansed, open.
A little faint, maybe?
A little faint, but I'm going to eat and I'm going to drink and have a good time.
Hi, how are you guys? Nice to see
Hi.
you.
Bend down to my level, please.
So I just had Kevin on the phone and this happened. It cracked as I was talking to him.
Do you have the Skype app I showed you?
No, I think it's fine. On the news, they're talking about the Miller's Comet, and they keep telling people that this can happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's the comet. If you have Skype, it uses the home Wi-Fi.
No, the interference, they're saying things break.
That's ridiculous.
Did Amir mention to you that he's bringing Laurie to dinner?
He's bringing Lori.
Yeah, the Laurie.
No, I didn't know that.
Who's Lori?
Well, here's
Oh, Mike.
you know Laurie. Long black hair.
Wild and sexy.
Very tight dresses.
Listen, it's totally fine. It's such an Amir thing to do.
Well, I was going to keep this just among my friends, but it's my own little rescue remedy concoction. It's my own mix. It's pretty safe. It's very safe, I think.
Do you want a needle for that?
No, you can just drop it in some water. It just takes the edge off, in case you're worried. I don't know. I'm offering. It's echinacea, passion flower, a little valerian, and ketamine.
So it's all natural.
Ketamine?
That doesn't sound natural at all. That's a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, but it's just a whisper of ketamine.
I did that once.
Yeah, I just thought maybe a celebration for the comet.
Are you offering this to me because Lori's coming here?
Well, I'm just saying.
Now it's a party.
Ketamine and cheese. It's right here if you change your mind. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hey, hi, how are you? Do you guys want wine, cheese, ketamine?
Did you know that Lori is coming?
Lori's coming?
Look at that smile on your face.
It's not that kind of a smile. It's not that smile.
Why is she coming tonight?
Amir's bringing her.
Ooh, all right.
Beats me because Amir's a total jackass.
You know what? Put a quarter into the swear jar.
So who did he tell?
We got an email about it, just says +1. And then I was like, plus what?
Scene two, living room. Enter Amir and Lori.
We're cold and hungry.
Hi, Amir. Amir, you look great.
Thank you. You remember Lori?
Hi, Amir told me I wouldn't be overdressed, and now I'm feeling.
No, we're underdressed.
Hi.
Hi,
So, how are you?
I'm good. Beth, do you remember Lori?
Yes.
Nice to see you.
Do you guys want wine?
Yeah. So, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been really good. You?
I've been great. Life is looking very different from how it was a while back, well, in a good way. So,
Well, cool. That's good to hear.
thank you.
Scene 3, living room.
Does everyone else still not have service?
My phone is completely broken.
Maybe the tower is down.
I'm telling you guys,
It's not down. That would be a big news story.
Comet.
Miller's comet.
Yes, thank you. I read somewhere this morning about a comet in the 1930s. It was in Finland. It was crazy because it affected the people. After it passed, they would get lost. They would end up in the wrong home. They would forget things. They wouldn't really know where they were. And I remember reading about this one woman who called the police and said, the man in my house is not my husband. And then police came over and they said, this is your husband. And she said, no, this is not my husband. I killed my husband yesterday.
Awesome.
That's how I know it's not him. But they couldn't arrest her because he was standing right there in front of them.
Think how lucky she is. She gets to kill him again.
You guys remember Halley's Comet? I mean, it
Mhm.
was such a big deal. I remember at my school we all had to reenact Halley's Comet, so they assigned each of us something celestial to do. My sister got to be Halley's Comet. I was very jealous. There's a picture of her right there on the mantle, but she's only a fleeting comet. She looks a little ridiculous.
That's your sister? But why did you put it? It's a door to nowhere. In Feng Shui, a useless door, which is obviously a useless door. You put a picture of someone that you have unresolved issues with, and it causes all kinds of weird energy flow. I can feel it. It's like a vortex.
Scene 4, the dinner table. So Lori, what are you doing these days? Keeping yourself busy?
I'm keeping busy. I'm working with some outreach programs in Silicon Valley. We work with at-risk youth.
Are you still teaching the yoga, the Spanish yoga, the spoga?
No, not me.
Oh, that must have been another girl that Kevin dated that Amir is hooking up with.
Hmm. So, what do you do for a living?
I act. Shut up, guys. I was in a TV show for about 4 years.
Yeah? What was it?
It was called Roswell.
Oh my God! I love Roswell. What episode were you on?
All episodes. I was a series regular. I'm sure doing the downward dog probably gets to your head.
I didn't do yoga.
Well, hey, listen, thanks for enjoying the show.
I think you are a really good actor, and I think you should continue doing it.
Yeah, well, what are you up to these days? Last I remember, you were taking the dance world by storm.
I guess the last time I saw you must have been when I was creating the dance show. But then right before the premiere, they brought in Svetlana Serrano, who is the best dancer in the world, really. So they just offered me the understudy.
Oh, that's terrible.
but it's a good lesson that I had to learn because, you know, because of my pride, I took too long to decide on whether to take the understudy, and they gave that to Catherine Maris. The reason that she's really big now is that Svetlana pulled out last minute and Catherine ended up doing the show.
So she basically stole your whole thing. Catherine Maris has your life, basically.
Well, you have your life. It's a shame that it happened, but she doesn't hold a candle to you.
Look,
Oh my God, that happened to my phone tonight, and I was just holding it in my hand.
exact same thing.
This is what they were talking about on the news.
Miller's Comet. The chicken tastes like tuna. It must be Miller's Comet.
Do you
The
guys
lights
have
go
a,
out. The lights go out. No! Oh my God. Why are the lights out?
What?
Oh,
I'm so glad I'm not. I'm so glad I'm not high.
me too. Yeah.
I got the blue glow sticks, the red glow sticks, and the green glow sticks.
Well, this is a little strange, but the whole neighborhood is out of power, except for a house about 2 blocks up, which is completely lit up. It's kind of beautiful, actually.
Oh,
do you think they have a landline?
Scene 5, dining room, dim light from candles.
I'm actually thinking of going over there.
no, you're not going over there.
My brother, he said that if anything strange were to happen while the comet was flying over, that we should stay inside. That we should stay inside and that I should do my best to contact him.
Didn't he say to stay inside though?
Yes, but this overrides that, and it's only 2 blocks away.
I'm going with him. I'm the least important person here.
Bring your glow stick so we can identify your bodies.
10 minutes we give them.
You seem to be the comet expert here tonight. What happened the last time?
This one passed over 100 years ago, but nothing happened then. It was too far away. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh,
What is that?
What the fuck was that? I don't know.
Front door's locked. There's nothing out there.
Is that the grid or the generator?
No, it's just our generator.
Ding
Ding
dong.
dong.
Jesus.
Oh man, it's them. Hugh and Amir enter.
I'm fine.
What is that box?
I saw Hugh put it down, so I picked it up when we left.
Amir, why did you take that box?
I saw you put it down.
I did not put it down. I never touched that thing.
I'll walk it back.
No. I'm gonna open it first.
No. No, don't. Just
do that.
Don't
Damn
do
it.
that. Don't.
Oh my God, there's pictures in here of all of us. Guys, what happened?
Okay, we were at the other house. Hugh went around the side. I thought I heard a noise. You made some kind of sound and you wouldn't tell me what you saw.
Babe, what did you see?
Just Christ, man. You can't stand there and not say anything. What did you see?
Hugh, there's pictures of us in this box.
Hugh! Oh,
I went to the window and I looked in the window and I saw a table with wine glasses and candles and a dinner set for 8 people. I saw you guys.
Right, okay, fuck you, Hugh.
Did you
Fuck
guys
you.
come and fuck with this door?
Fuck you, Kevin.
Did you come to the side door?
No, I went to the side door at the other house. They wouldn't answer the door, so I went.
Bullshit.
Oh,
You bishops walked in a circle and knocked on this door.
I did not walk in a fucking circle. I went 2 blocks. We went up to that house. I knocked on the door. Nobody answered, so I went and banged on the side door.
Did you see yourself, Hugh?
No, I did not see myself.
No,
No,
because you weren't there.
I did not go in a circle. I'm gonna go back over there. I'm gonna ask to use their phone, and if they're not there, I'll just leave a note, right?
No, you should not go back. No.
Shit, there's someone out there. There's someone out there.
Oh, there's a big guy at the door. He's walking away. He's walking away.
Hey,
Kevin opens the door and finds a note.
hey there. Don't mean to freak you guys out, but we just wanted to know your phone for 5 minutes tops. Thanks.
It's exactly what I just wrote.
Oh,
Scene 1, late 1990s. Michael, Emily's long-suffering husband in his 30s, appears slim, pale, and disheveled. It is late afternoon. He is sitting alone in a local bar. He's just finished another drink. With unease, he holds his head. He recollects Emily's harsh words.
I am never wrong. I know what this is. Who the bloody hell do you think you are? I don't even know why we're together. What is the point of living like this? I was a stupid one to marry you. I should have known it was a mistake from the start. I am so sick of this relationship. All I do is give and give and give, and I get nothing in return. The least you could have done was been born with money. You certainly don't have any good qualities. You have no desire to make me feel special. I give you the best possible gift in the world, our children. And what have you given me? A load of crap. I knew you would be selfish. You only love me because my father has tons of money. I should have stuck with my parents' choice, Tony Rochdale. Now he was a man with great qualities and so much potential. He had money up to his eyeballs and he was very handsome, a saint compared to you. If I had known in advance that my life was going to turn out like this, then I would have committed suicide back then. You know, Michael, I have dreams too. When I enter a room, I want everybody to look at me and think, who is that beautiful woman? I want people to come up to me, greet me, and feel privileged when they get to know me. Tony would have allowed me to spend money as if it were on tap. Instead, I have to watch my pocket because we have to live within our means. My pitiful husband only earns 25,000 pounds a year. How is that an adequate amount for a family of 4? It doesn't even scrape the bottom of the barrel. I don't know why I'm even telling you all this. Your brain's simply wasting away. After all, you've got shit for brains.
Emily's harsh words fade. Michael slowly rises from his seat. He trips over and accidentally bumps into someone.
Are you all right there?
I'm really sorry. It's Emily.
Are you sure you're okay?
I felt a bit dizzy, lost my balance. Sorry. It's Emily.
No problem. Who's Emily?
Michael shuffles along, then exits. Scene 2, early evening, Jack's place. Jack is Michael's best friend. He is in his 30s and well presented. They are sitting in Jack's landscaped garden. They both have drinks in hand.
You do realize the era of depression has ended. People actually smile now.
What?
Earth calling Michael. Come in, Michael. Do you receive?
You know, I shouldn't have married so young. I should have waited at least another 5 years.
You look absolutely shit today.
Thanks.
Didn't you like the anniversary cake? Or are you sitting out here because of the loud music?
It's Emily. She's driving me crazy.
Why don't you divorce her then?
Unfortunately, I still love her.
You can still love her and divorce her, Michael. Just tell her the truth. No beating around the bush.
Not possible. No way.
Emily should be the only person in your life that you can share anything with. She's your wife. Marissa and I can talk for ages.
It's not that easy, you know? Women have a gift for making simple things complicated.
You need to understand both sides. If she isn't the kind of loving, caring wife you once had, let her know. Be upfront about it. She's not a mind reader.
I don't have the courage to tell her. She's so abusive sometimes.
Stop being afraid of her.
I'm not afraid of her. I'm afraid of the circumstances. I'm afraid of being interrupted, of not being able to find the right words. I'm always worried about her reactions.
Get rid of the numbness and tell her. Remember, she's unhappy as well.
Just want a woman who accepts me for being me, who doesn't compare me to others, who tells me how this should be done that way or how that should be done this way. I'm sick and tired of being told my efforts aren't good enough. I crave for attention, but all I get are orders. I yearn for understanding and kindness, but all I seem to get is ignorance. I long for love, but I end up with awkward and painful sex. I'm always trying to accommodate her feelings.
Why do you give in so quickly?
My mind thinks of one thing and my heart thinks of another.
You have a bad habit of going out of your way to make other people happy. And that is exactly what's wrong. I think you just need to communicate with her on another level without the shouting and screaming.
I just don't know how.
Manage her. Stop assuming the worst and take it as it comes. If she bites, bite back. Or, scare her with a little shove.
I'm not going to physically assault her.
I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
I had to call in sick today.
Second day in a row.
I can't help it.
And what about the kids? What do they make of all this?
They're confused right now, but when I'm with them, I feel this great sense of warmth and relief. And then bedtime arrives, the fatal hour. Jason and Sarah rush to bed, and I find myself with my wife. My anxiety settles in, and my throat becomes very dry.
You know what my solution would be.
Yes, and quite frankly, that's far more complicated than my dilemma.
But I'm over the moon. I would not have made it through 10 years of marriage without her help.
Fiona may fill in the gaps, but when Marissa finds out, you'll be digging your own grave.
I told you before, She treats me the way I like to be treated. I'm a hardworking man. The main thing is that Fiona is willing to do so much for me. And the sex, it's absolutely fantastic.
When you have an affair,
Oh, please. I beg you not to label my relationship with Fiona as an affair. It sounds very disrespectful. I would like you to refer to it as my most respected and worthy companionship.
when you have a bit on the side, you make extra effort to build it on trust. Then to demonstrate total trust, you pad it with lies. That's the icing on the cake.
Fiona is not like that.
Fiona is human, not a goddess.
She makes me feel free. No boundaries, no restrictions. Just a lot of fun.
Wanting freedom means giving up your responsibilities.
You can have both.
I completely disagree.
Look, I'm willing to take the risk because when your patience deserts you, you always look for a way out.
You should end it as soon as possible.
Why?
Because it's wrong on so many levels. You know that.
No, preaching, please.
I should go now.
Take care. And remember, it's not as bad as you think.
I hope on my way home I will get run over by a bus.
Wishful thinking.
I wonder if Mom can help.
You'll only be confusing yourself.
Anything to procrastinate.
They both rise from the bench and go their separate ways. Scene 3. It is late night. Michael's parents' house. Michael is sitting in an armchair. The clock chimes 10:30. Michael's mom is sitting opposite him. She is in her late 60s and has a stern look on her face. Michael remains anxious.
Where have you been? You're a little overdressed to see your father and I.
It was Jack's wedding anniversary.
A bundle of reckless spending and countless infantile conversations, no doubt.
The cake was nice.
So it's the latest with you?
Jack said I should divorce him.
And what do you think?
I love her.
And what do you really think?
I can't do that to her.
Would she do it to you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Then divorce her.
Just like that.
You have to take action before it cripples you.
Mom, divorce is an ugly word. You told me that.
This is seriously affecting your mental health. Look at the state you're in.
I can't do that to my children.
Keeping a marriage alive for the sake of the children is not a wise move. Instead of being responsible for messing up a part of their lives, you succeed in ruining their lives completely.
I just want things back the way they were. I miss the Emily I married.
We knew she would change. Your father was right from the start.
Please, I don't need to hear that again.
Look, I wish I could wave a magic wand and make everything better for you. But I can only hope for the best and be here for you when you need us.
I know. Thanks, Mom.
Do you still think that she may be cheating on you?
I don't know. There aren't enough clues.
Are you planning to stay the night?
Is that all right?
That's fine. You can take the new bed in the spare room.
Great. Thank you.
Shouldn't you call Emily and let her know where you are?
I will.
Mom shows Michael to the spare room. Scene 4. The next morning, Michael and Emily's kitchen. Michael opens the kitchen door very quietly and cautiously walks in. On hearing his entrance, Emily angrily emerges. She is dressed to go out. She is in her 30s and is very well presented.
Oh, the apple of my eye, the man of my dreams. Aren't you a little early? Didn't you have any other business to attend to? Why on earth did you bother coming home? Family isn't that important.
I'm really sorry about last night.
I was a little worried at first, but then I thought, what's the point in worrying about someone who only thinks about themselves?
I'm really sorry. I know I should have called you. I was going to, but then it slipped my mind.
Oh, it slipped your mind. There I was thinking, you were probably lying in a blissful gutter somewhere and wild cats and dogs were making a feast of you.
Are the kids at school?
The children were up until almost 11 o'clock yesterday evening waiting for Daddy.
Oh God, Emily, just let me explain.
As if that's gonna make everything all right.
Well, what do you want me to say?
It's fine for you. You just come home from work and you get to relax. It's me who has to cook, clean, look after the kids. You must think I'm a machine. Have you ever stopped to think what we're going through? Me and the kids.
You know, I usually bring some of my work home.
You could have had the decency to call me and let me know that you were at your mother's house.
How did you find out?
Jack was kind and thoughtful enough to tell me when I rang him last night in search of you.
Look, I'm sorry for causing so much worry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I really did. I simply forgot.
God, I feel so ashamed. I feel so ashamed to even say that you're my husband. If we didn't have Sarah and Jason, I would leave you right now.
I said I was sorry.
Anyway, Ruth from your office called this morning at 9 asking where the hell you were. Apparently, you were supposed to be at a board meeting at 8:40 to discuss the blueprints for the new shopping mall.
Oh God, I completely forgot about that too.
How are we going to pay the bills if you don't go to work?
I'll call Ruth and explain.
Are you listening to me?
Emily, I need to tell you something important.
Are we going to lose a house?
No, it's not that.
Well, then what is it?
Let's just sit down and calmly talk about it.
Can't you see I'm dressed to go out?
Huh?
Helen and I are going shopping.
Must you leave right this minute when I'm trying to tell you something important about us?
I don't want to be late.
Do I really mean anything to you?
I know you're not very bright or quick off the mark, but I just said that I don't have time for this. So, do you get that?
Fine. When will you be back?
Why do you need to know that?
Emily, I love you. And we really need to talk about our situation. Please stay.
I've got 2 deliveries coming today.
Deliveries?
Yes, just sign for them, will you? Do you think you can manage that?
This isn't fair.
Excuse me?
I said this isn't fair.
How dare you say that to me? You have no idea what I'm going through because of you.
I want to sort this all out.
I'm so pleased for you.
Will you just for once listen to me?
Oh, before I forget, you know the rug you said I couldn't buy because we were unable to afford it?
Yeah? Yes?
I ordered it. I used your credit card.
I thought you said you were going to replace the toaster.
I was, until Henrietta joined me. I couldn't possibly tell her I was replacing an old toaster, could I? So, just to show her that she's not the only one having the good life, I ordered the rug. I must say, the expression on her face was worth every penny. She was really impressed.
How much was the rug?
It was reasonably priced.
Cheaper than the toaster?
240 pounds. It was at a discount price. The original price was 500 pounds.
I don't believe it.
You want people to think we're penniless, don't you?
It's because we are.
For a long time, Michael, I have been trying to fit in with my new friends, and now I finally have. Why are you spoiling it for me?
When I said we can't afford it, I meant it.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just living the way that I want to. And if you have a problem with that, then I don't care.
We will lose the house for sure if you continue this way. If you carry on like this.
You'll just have to work a little harder then. Ciao.
Emily cheerfully exits, and Michael looks on with a defeated expression.
Murder Runs in Our Family, a comedy. The setting is the hallway in a house in Argus, California, nighttime.
Mom's in bed.
Good. I need to talk to you, Chris.
After all these years, dropping by in the middle of the night.
Are you going to let me in?
That's far enough.
Whoa.
Her voice down. Mom has trouble sleeping.
I'll bet she does.
Why are you here, Forrest?
Why are you still here, Chris? In the middle of nowhere.
Mom wants to spend out her days in the house where she was born.
I asked about you.
Someone has to look after her.
A rest home?
You're campaigning on a platform of family values. Does that include parental care?
From professionals in a facility providing first-class medical attention.
Mom hates institutions.
Think of yourself for a change.
Oh, like you and Alexa? Never bothering to visit?
We have busy schedules. It takes days to reach this place.
Get lost.
After I get your signature.
What's this?
Alexa and I have already signed.
You want to have Mom committed. She's fully functional.
You're too close to see how much she's deteriorated.
And you're too distant to see her at all. Goodbye, Forrest.
I tried to spare you the truth. Brace yourself. Mom killed Dad.
Oh, you've totally lost it.
Hear me out. Dad appeared to me, accusing Mom of sleeping with Uncle Reg and murder.
Oh, like the ghost in Hamlet.
The similarity struck me too, as soon as I woke up.
So it was all a dream.
I fact-checked. Alexa confirmed Mom and Uncle Reg did have an affair.
That's old news. Mothers share more with their daughters than with a self-righteous son.
But how did the apparition in my brain know about it? Unless it came from the other side.
Well, your subconscious must have picked up clues from the way they flirted with each other.
That's highly speculative. I needed hard evidence. So I rang Mom.
And
He made me confess. Can you remember your older sister, Effie?
Vaguely.
Long after she passed on, I found her diary, full of anger and hatred. I confronted your father. He tried to deny it at first, but his guilt was obvious. It all came flooding out. Not only the abuse, but how Effie threatened to expose him and how he killed her to protect his precious reputation.
He was a monster, but that doesn't justify taking the law into your own hands.
Show some compassion.
I am. I'm suppressing my instinct to report the crime and offering a way forward.
A mental hospital for a prison.
Luxury accommodation, 24/7 care.
Constant surveillance. Mustn't let the secret get out. Would damage your campaign.
As if I'd breathe a word.
You blabbed everything to me.
Oh, if that's your worry, dear, let me stay home. There's hardly a soul for miles around.
You have internet access here.
Surely I'd have that anywhere.
Not where you're going. There'll be TV, books, magazines.
I need to be active online for my blog. Clytie's Climaxes.
That's a risk I refuse to take.
Protecting your precious reputation? Like father, like son?
Sign the form, Chris.
And if I don't? If I keep her here with me? What can you do?
Inform the authorities.
I thought you wanted to avoid a scandal, dear.
I'd sooner proactively report the crime now than be charged with covering it up later.
I wonder what voters will think of a man who squeals on his own mother.
A sufficient number will respect my integrity.
You've thought this through, haven't you?
My preference is to keep Mom out of prison. What's yours?
Just give me the pen.
Darling, if I'm disconnected, I may as well be dead.
It's no use stalling. You won't budge.
I give up. I enjoyed living. It was fun while it lasted.
I hope you're not contemplating anything silly.
You've got a strong arm force. Kindly stone me to death.
Not funny, Mom.
This method's endorsed in the Bible. There are some nice big rocks out in the garden. If you use small pebbles, it will take ages and be extremely painful.
Will you be quiet?
Probably not during, but definitely after.
You're impossible.
Take heart, dear. You can do this. Murder runs in our family.
True. Once he's rubbed you out, I can go after him.
That's the spirit.
Sign now, Chris, or I'll call the police.
There's web access in prison, Mom. You can't control that.
A lifeline. I'll take it.
It's up to you now, Mom. You can do without her signature. If you commit yourself.
I commit crime, not people.
Use your head. With my influence, I can restrict your activity inside.
Oh no, offline I'll be miserable.
Choose the comfort of a swanky psychiatric ward. He'll be waited on hand and foot.
Well, I suppose a pedicure will be some consolation.
Pack your things.
Stop bullying her.
Do I have to leave straight away?
I've booked our flight.
Very well. We'll talk on the plane. I have another murder to report.
Who is it this time?
Alexa.
Don't pull that. You can't have killed Alexa. I was just talking to her.
No, I didn't kill Alexa. Alexa killed your Uncle Reg.
Why?
Guess.
Is there no end to the depravity in this family?
Oh, goodness. You should hear about your grandfather. Multiple victims.
Oh, give me all the juicy details. I'll write a book. It's bound to be a bestseller.
No, hang on. If all this comes out, it'll be a huge embarrassment to my career.
An added bonus.
I'll pay you to keep your mouth shut.
My price is leave Mom here.
She can't be trusted.
I'll supervise her.
Every hour of the day?
She'll need help.
We'll convert the house into a fully staffed hospital.
Nope. It wouldn't feel like home. I have a better idea. You can lend a hand, Forrest.
What?
Here's my next blog post. How a devoted son agreed to spend 6 months of the year looking after his mother.
Wonderful. I could do with a long vacation.
Hang on.
It'll be priceless publicity, dear.
He is a genuine family man.
A guaranteed vote winner, sure. But 6 months.
All right. 4.
I demand equal shares.
Alexa owes me for my silence. You can do 4 months each.
Perfect.
Stuck out here in the desert.
Oh, cheer up, dear. You look positively murderous.
Exterior, Lizzie's backyard patio, night. It is a warm summer evening with a light breeze coming in from the ocean. The patio is furnished with a round table and 5 chairs. There are 5 place settings, which include porcelain teacups.
Mother, are you sure it's not too cold for you on the patio?
Yes, I'm sure. Stop trying to mother me.
Mother, I'm not trying to mother you. I just don't want you to get a chill.
Chill? I'm not a child. I know how to dress for the weather. I've been dressing myself longer than you've been alive.
Lindsay enters the patio from the patio door. She's carrying a plate of fruit.
Oh, and it's a glorious night. Not one for us to be cooped up inside. Gwen, do you have the sandwiches?
Still putting them together. It'll be a second.
Marcia enters the patio from the patio door. She's carrying a large pitcher of tea.
I could bring you a sweater or a shawl.
Oh yes, a shawl.
Oh, I'll go upstairs and get one. Which one would you like?
The one that makes me look like I'm 102. And while you're there, grab a rocking chair.
Mother, I just want you to be comfortable.
Then let me enjoy this nice as it is and stop trying to protect me from it.
Gwen enters the patio carrying a tray of sandwiches. Gwen slips out on one of the chairs and takes one of the sandwiches.
I'll bury my thoughts in useless calories.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, I just want to take it all in. This was Alexander's favorite time to relax and reflect on the day. Of all the places we must have been, of all the adventures we had, this is where he most wanted to be. Here, holding hands, watching the sunset.
Someday Michael and I will have that.
You'll have to make it happen. By the way, where is Michael?
In the other room, he had to make some business calls and he didn't want to disturb us.
When you could fetch him, I want us to spend this time together before the sun has set.
All right, Mother. I'll get Michael for you.
Marcia exits through the patio doors.
How are you doing?
Same old thing, nothing new.
Good. No change is a good thing.
Sometimes.
Marcia and Michael enter the patio.
Here he is, Mother.
In body, not in spirit.
Michael, couldn't you put that phone down for now?
Oh, sorry, just had to complete some business.
Can't you just turn it off?
Well, yes, I can, and then we can forget about paying bills and eating.
Just one night. Can't you forget about work for just one night?
I will put it away.
For me, Michael, for one night. Could you turn it off?
I would, but I'm expecting a decision on...
Just turn it off.
All right. Happy?
How about we start with some tea?
I'll need something stronger.
Gwen leaves and goes back into house. Lizzie pours tea into a cup and hands it to Marcia. Marcia passes it to Michael. Michael takes the cup and sets it down. Lizzie continues to pass out the tea to Marcia. Lizzie pours tea into the 5th cup and then pours tea for herself. Lizzie takes out a small bottle, uncaps it, and pours the content into her cup.
What's that?
Something for what ails me.
Gwen enters the patio carrying a wine glass filled with wine.
Is it medicine? Are they trying something new? Did you get your results from the last test?
Yes,
Yes to what?
I got the results.
Well, what is it? Are you still in remission?
No.
More chemo.
What are they going to do?
They're not doing anything.
But how? Why? We'll make them do something. We'll get another opinion.
It isn't them, it's me. I don't want to do anymore.
What do you mean you don't want to do?
Are you giving up?
No, I haven't given up. I'm choosing to live, but to live how I want to live.
And what does that mean?
I've had my breasts removed and later my ovaries and my uterus. I've been carved up into little pieces, only to learn I've lost the fight, bit by bit.
But you're still here. You made those decisions to survive.
I didn't choose to be here without Alexander. He was taken away all at once. I didn't choose that.
I lost him also, but I know Dad would want you to be happy. He'd want us to be happy to go on.
I know he would, but more treatments or having some other part of me cut away and discarded will not make me happy. What would make me happy was to watch the last sunset fade quietly away. I want that to be the last thing I see while surrounded by everyone I love.
Well, that would be nice if we could plan our own deaths and make it all picture perfect. We can't. Even if you know you're going to die, you can't plan the moment it will happen.
I think we can. I've made all the arrangements, so my family will not have to be bothered with details.
Oh, so shall I save the date? When shall I mark my calendar?
The 22nd, this Saturday. I planned it so that Michael could attend. I know how busy he is during the week.
But sometimes my weekends get slammed.
Michael,
What?
are you listening? What, Mom, what do you mean this weekend?
Everything's been arranged. A small service, just some friends and family. I want you three to release my ashes from the beach into the sunset. The weather will be perfect. I checked.
Lizzie, stop this. It's not funny. You're not going to be dead this Saturday just to accommodate Michael.
But I think Marsha will need his support. I want him to be there. You will be there, won't you, Michael?
Oh, sure. Whatever you need.
Michael, are you an idiot?
What? It's your mother. She wants me to do something, and I said I would.
Michael, don't be a moron. Mom, how could you plan your own funeral?
It really wasn't that difficult. Once you've arranged one, they get easier. And there was so much less emotional issues for me this time.
But Lizzie, honey, how do you know you're going to be dead by Saturday?
I told you, I've made the arrangements. By the time the sun has set, I will be at rest. I figured it would take at least 3 days for my remains to be handled.
But that would mean you would be dead tonight, and you're not. Mom, what was in that bottle?
Medicine for what ails me.
Mom, what have you done?
I told you, I have taken care. I've made the choice. Look, the sun is almost setting. How beautiful, the waves are cresting.
What have you done? What was in the bottle?
Lizzie, stop this. It's not funny. Tell us what you've done.
Feel the breeze. There is a light mist traveling with it. Do you feel it, Alexander? Like all the other nights we left behind.
Mom,
stop it, Lizzie.
Do this. Michael, do something.
What? What is it? What is going on?
Get on your freaking phone and call 911.
911? What should I tell them?
My God, are you even here? What do you think the hell is going on? Just call them.
It's better from the landline. They'll have the address. I'll call.
Gwen goes into the house. Michael stands with a confused look on his face and motioning with his hands for which way he should go.
Go with Aunt Gwen. Go stand outside for the paramedics. You can open a door, can't you?
Yes, okay. I will wait out front.
Michael goes into the house. Marsha drops down on her knees next to Lizzie and places her hand on Lizzie's arm.
It's going to be okay. We're getting you help. You're not going to die.
Of course I am.
But not tonight.
Everyone dies, but the dead live forever. Alexander told me that right before he kissed me and took his final breath.
Help is coming. I won't let you leave me.
It's not your choice, dear. You could not stop this any more than you could stop the last drop of the sun from dissolving into the ocean. See? It's almost gone.
No, I won't look. You're going to hold on. Hold on to me. I can't let you go. What will I do if you go?
The house is yours, free and clear. Michael will not have to work as hard. And you will watch the golden light drip on the deep blue waves and remember your father and me. You will have a family. You will tell them about us. And we will live forever.
I can't. I'm not ready to live without you.
You will not have to. We will always be there. See it. Watch it with us. The last of today's slipping into darkness. It is not an ending. It is the beginning of tomorrow.
Marcia turns to watch the sunset. Lizzie's hand slips away from Marcia. Marcia does not turn back. She continues to watch the sunset. It was very good performances.
Yeah.
So for those who can stick around, we usually go into conversation now.
Cool.
And our first piece was Coherence that Mary Benedict offered. How'd it go for you, Mary?
Huh?
Oh, she's cutting her hair.
No, I'm actually bringing my hair down. I had a man bun.
You look so much like this woman.
What?
You look so much like this woman from Handmaid's Tale. You know this. What's her name?
Somebody you know?
No, this is from the series, The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, Handmaid's Tale. I think you said.
Who are you comparing me to?
I forgot the name. This woman who is, you know, with the hair, you look like.
With the hair up or down?
With the hair up.
Okay.
She had like this kind of hairstyle. What was this police? No, never mind. What's Sorry.
So I know there was a few glitches along the way, but Mary, how did it go for you?
I don't know. I wasn't satisfied with it. I just would have gone about it. I think I wish I'd gone about it a different way.
It was a difficult piece to adapt, I think, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just wish I had done it as one continuous scene rather than dividing it up.
Yeah, maybe that would have worked.
Yeah, because I think there were moments where, as Kevin, I wasn't sure if I was in the room until my line came up. And then other places it said Kevin enters. So
Yeah.
there were some little places like that. And it seems like the piece that you presented could have been done as one scene. It does seem.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what you're saying now, yeah.
I agree. It's also difficult, I guess, to have more than 3 or 4 characters too for this group. Yeah.
Theoretically, I don't think it should be. I mean, I think it should be able to work.
Yeah, we have over 400 members, but they don't all show up.
But one of the problems is doubling up does make it a little more difficult, but yeah, so, but I don't think that I think mainly the problem is it just should have been done as a continuous scene. There were a couple of times when people were supposed to exit when they didn't, which made it a little more confusing. There was a time when I was supposed to exit when I didn't, which made it more confusing. But probably would have been better to have like a rehearsal or something ahead of time for something that was more complicated like that. I think rather than just do the one run through.
And if any writer here, feels a need to do that. I mean, we originally started as a cold reading group. It was supposed to help actors get the experience for doing cold readings, but we don't have to keep to that. If you can get your actors together before the performance day to run through it, feel free to do that. Yeah. Absolutely. It's all up to you guys. Anybody have anything to add? What their experience was on that piece?
I just found it a little confusing, but as you say, if it had been.
Does anybody have one good thing to say, or did it suck from beginning to end?
It didn't suck.
Oh no, it didn't suck. No, not at all.
It was just a bit
No.
confusing. I found it.
No, I know. I was just wondering if anybody had any positive feedback at all, or if it was all negative. Yes, Goretti.
I loved the character that Carol was playing. That character really the way that she played. I don't know if it's written like that, all monotone, or if that was her choice, but that was lovely and funny, and that kept me in it.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
She seemed like someone who had a lot of stress in her life.
I felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she, if you watch the whole movie, what she does at the end definitely reflects a person who has a lot of stress in her life. That, you know, because she takes some pretty radical action at the end of the film. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might see it, but yeah, she takes major radical action. So, yeah, she's not a happy person.
All right. Is there any more of that movie that you would want to present?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Give it another shot. Try doing it as one scene.
Yeah.
I have a question about that. Like, because you post this, Stephen, online, is that legal to shoot other people's work like that? Is it as if we were doing I don't know anything about it. I'm just curious because it is something that
Copyright
is on Amazon, copyright, you know.
Probably not.
There's
a lot of things that probably 75% of the stuff on YouTube isn't legal, technically. It all depends on whether they want to, if they think it's worth the time and trouble to go after you. I think if we were sitting here trying to like recreate the entire movie and we were monetized and making money off it with advertising, yeah, I don't think anybody gives a crap about a few people getting together who are friends and doing scenes from movies.
Or it's very much like an actor's reel who may borrow a monologue from a movie or someone's play and present that, you know, as their reel on YouTube. So I think if it's like Mary was saying, if you're not trying to make money from it, I don't think you have to worry about it. And if anyone were to get offended, I would just have to cut that off of YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, if you know, if you want to do an actual play, you have to either get permission or, you know, I mean, like if you want to do a play that someone else has written, unless it's in the public domain, you have to get permission and all that. But if I don't really think anybody cares about a group of people just sort of getting together and doing something informally.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if you're charging for it, if you're charging for seats or something like that, then you run into problems.
Right. Yeah.
It depends
and
on
also,
the company.
it's not you're not doing. If this was somebody else's short play, and I was doing although we've actually done that before in class, but I mean, if this was somebody else's short play and I was doing it from beginning to end, you know. But if you're taking just like certain scenes from a movie, that might even fall under fair use. And if we even called this a class, if we called this like a cold reading class, then it would be for educational purposes. We're just using scenes for educational purposes. That would also be fair use.
Mm-hmm. What were you
It
going to
is
say?
always educational.
What?
Rex?
It is always educational. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, it is always.
Rex, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I think the whole issue is quite complicated, and as Mary says, it does depend on the company. For example, if you took something from a Disney show, they're likely to clamp down on you quite hard.
You've tried that, have you?
No, I haven't tried it, but I have heard tales.
I'm going to rewrite that. We'll see.
And what you can do, though, is a parody. Parodies are legal, at least in the US. If you do a parody of anything, you can get away with it.
Yeah, England too, I think.
I agree. Sounds like fair use.
Danito, your volume is really low.
Sorry, you can't hear me?
It's fuzzy as well.
Oh, the sound is not good. Sorry.
We could hear you in the play very well. Happened since then.
Really? I don't know. I didn't change anything. Sorry.
Well then, I guess we should move on to second is A Stinging Affair from Tasman.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have enough time to rehearse, Tasman?
Yes, we did. And I'm usually, one of those people who asks for extra time for rehearsal. And then we got into rehearsal. We went through the main points, and I thought, hey, let's do it again. And then your message came up for 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, where did the time go? But you know what? For one rehearsal, we just had one shot at it, very brief chat, and then boom, it was on. And the second time round, it was even better.
Yeah.
And, Eva Marie, Daniel, Donetto, Elizabeth, and Tim coming in last minute to do stage directions. I'm very grateful. You did a great job. And you know what? When we were rehearsing and I was just looking at the script and reading it with you, that was one experience, if you like. But when I was watching you, and obviously it was being recorded, it was different and I enjoyed it. And I know I wrote it at first. I mean, I wrote this when I was younger, many years ago, and I didn't know what to expect. And I thought, no, if I just throw it in, let's do it during this session and see if what I actually wrote so many years ago still makes sense.
Very grown-up dialogue and emotion there. It's amazing that you did that. Very young.
Yes, I did. And then I just left it for a while because I was promoting other plays that I'd written. So it was a great opportunity. Thank you, Stephen. And yeah, great acting. Thank you so much. It was good for one rehearsal. Fab.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very powerful monologues in there. Very good. Yeah.
Especially when Emily opens and Emily was angry at the start and you thought, oh my God, she's awful. But you were great. I loved it. You were great. And then it was nice how Emily started the play. And then obviously where I chose to finish it, she ended it and she goes, ciao. And she's ordered all this stuff and her husband's kind of beating his head against a brick wall, trying to get through. And she just doesn't have the time for him.
Yeah.
So it's
was that the whole play or was that an excerpt of the play?
No, it was an excerpt.
Okay.
So you get to
okay. Because
yeah. So it was only 4 scenes out of the
about
play.
the ending.
I'm sorry?
I was wondering about the ending. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh
What
no.
happens?
Yeah, it's the first 4 scenes.
Oh, okay.
It's the first 4 scenes, and I was unsure because in the beginning he was just recollecting her harsh words, but it was nice that she came on camera and you could see her, and then he was reacting to it, and I think that worked quite well, working off of Michael's expressions, and then obviously you think, okay, he's got all this emotional baggage from scene 1 and he's carrying that load, and he goes to speak to his mom. Oh, you'll get confused. He speaks to his best friend Jack, who gives him a bit of advice, but is it going to work? Then you get to meet them, the couple that they are, and you just think, oh my God, they're awful. It is such a mismatched couple. Yeah. And he wants to sort out his marriage. He doesn't like divorce. It's an ugly word. And she is like, I will live my life. And then when he says we need to talk, all she's concerned about is, are we going to lose the house? It's nothing about their relationship.
Right.
Yeah. And then at the end, she orders all this stuff, puts it on his card. Oh my God. She complicates things even further. And you just think, what is she going to do next?
Sure.
And I'll leave it at that.
And I'd like to say that first scene where Danito has nothing to say, but he is reacting. So I don't know if that was from your direction or from his acting, but I just watching him, he kept responding to what she was saying without saying anything. And then I noticed it with Daniel and him interacting. And it's very hard to do that on Zoom. And I think a lot of actors, when they're on Zoom, they kind of lose that response back and forth because you're in completely different countries, maybe. So when an actor is responding to what's being said, I think that just goes to their ability to be able to do that. you know?
Yeah, because we when we were rehearsing, well done, Michael or Donetto, well done. When we were rehearsing, I wasn't sure, and I was torn between whether to actually have Michael on or not. But I think in the end, and I did ask the others, and I said, okay, let's do it that way, where he is actually reacting to her words. He's obviously dreading speaking to her again. And I'm glad that worked on Zoom. You know how limited it is, the limited capacity, you know. But yeah, for one rehearsal, yeah, it was good. It worked. I'm glad that, you know, even though there were 4 scenes, you could see the characters develop a little, and then you're going to get to see a little, you know, if we do it next month, maybe you'll get to see the characters develop further, and the story just gets a little bit more complicated and so on.
Or you have a backstory to how they met? Does that come later in the play?
Oh, that's let's see. In this play, because there was so much interest in the beginning and so many people worked on it, someone even liked, I think it was this monologue, and they used it for their exam, their final exam, I think they were doing what we would call over here GCSEs, but you would probably call HSC or whatever, certificate. Anyway, they were 16 and they did it for their exam, and they got a really good mark. And I thought, oh, that's so nice. And she did tell me, I mean, to choose of all you know, material she had, you know, access to, she chose this. So Emily obviously struck her as someone that she thought, yeah, I'm confident and I can do this for my exam. So yeah, a lot of interest there. So what I did is I developed it, and then I, for some reason, left it. But coming back to your question, I don't think the backstory is so much in the first part of it, meaning if I bring in the next 4 scenes, it probably won't be in it. But to be honest with you, I haven't read it for a long time. So maybe there's the answer to your question in there. But I think it, yeah, eventually there is. And you get to see, I did Emily's, there was, what I had to do, because there was a lot of people wanted more of Emily, even though they hated her. Sorry about that, but you did a great job, yeah. I developed her further, and everybody wanted to know the exact reason of why she is married to someone that she now regrets marrying. So I did this monologue. I did this huge monologue, and there was a gig in Copenhagen, and I thought, if I get an actor to do this, I didn't have enough time. I was so busy, and then I thought, forget it, I'll do it. So I did it as Emily, and it is basically a monologue completely and utterly trashing marriage and the whole constitution of marriage, because she's so unhappy being the person she is as a married woman, and it was it was received really well. But coming back to the play, it's early days yet. You're going to see other sides of her, and I think eventually you will not feel sorry for her, but completely and utterly hate her, because she's delusional. You know, her expectations are unreal.
Well, she uses her husband's cards up. I mean, she will tend to get married again and again. I mean, she may hate the institution of marriage, but she loves the benefits. I have a very, very, very close family member, I will not say who it is, did exactly that.
Really?
Despised her husband, had an affair, and then decided to max out his credit cards. I just watched it happen, and it was like, how cold could anybody be? How just unbelievably freezing cold and cruel. And it was exactly that. I'm going to get as much as I can.
Yeah.
Just, you know, if I hadn't seen that, if I hadn't lived that, and once thought very highly of that person, you know, I wouldn't have thought that existed.
Yeah.
And then she went on to go marry someone who was definitely richer.
And how Emily mentions earlier, you know, she should have stuck with her parents' choice, Tony Rochdale. I mean, God, that is a kick in the teeth, isn't it? But my God, you know, you don't have to go on and on about it. You made a choice. Own it. Take responsibility. Now live it. But hey, she's not going to do that. No, I think there's a stinging affair, and afterwards it's the stinging truth, and there's a kind of stinging serious thing I've got going on. But Emily makes the play. She is awful, and you will continue to think this. Well, at least I hope I've done enough work to make you to continue thinking she is an awful character.
So you would rather do that than give her layers?
No, sorry. Yes. I don't want it to end where she realizes her mistakes.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it like that. I meant more like maybe being somebody who's kind of complicated that might have certain good qualities. Like most people are kind of a mix of good and bad.
No, because I think the one thing, and I've had many discussions with this with other groups, where there's an expectation where if a play starts like this, eventually there is some good in them that sort of blossoms, or they realize suddenly they're guilty and they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." No,
that's not what I'm saying. No, that's a cliche. Yeah, that's not.
And
what
I'm
saying.
not a
I'm just
fan.
talking about just having, you know, maybe she likes flowers or something, or you know, maybe she has a
Not
great
in the
singing
next 4
voice. I mean,
scenes. No,
Yeah.
not in the next 4 scenes. But we'll see. But definitely not in the next 4 scenes. I need to read it again just to be sure that she is still in the next 4 scenes, which I'm pretty sure she is. But no, liking flowers or what have you, she's got a rug coming in soon, and I think she's got.
She likes rugs. That is a good quality, actually.
And also, she wanted to impress this friend, Henrietta. So instead of buying a toaster, she orders something so that she can see that Henrietta's going, "Oh my God, that's amazing," because she's impressing others, but her husband. She doesn't care. She's living the life that she wants, but she doesn't care who she hurts in the process. And that will continue, pretty sure.
So Daniel, welcome back. Did you enjoy the character?
It's good to be back. Thank you. I miss this when I can't make it. Yes, I've never played a cheater before, so this is kind of cool. and actually brag about it. That was pretty cool. Plus, I don't believe I'd met Donato, and he was so easy to play with. So
Donato, yeah,
it was such a pleasure. Plus, the words were written so they're so casual. The way
it's supposed to be an easy read.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Thank you.
It was easy. It was easy to be in the moment and be like, I'm not bragging that I have this extramarital affair, but it's kind of like somebody just prescribed a bottle of aspirin to make me feel better. I just have this woman on the side, but honestly, the words and Donato make it so simple. It was easy to play with it. So
you were great. Thank you.
And for me, it seemed like your character was aware that what you were doing were wrong, but you were justifying it by labeling it differently. And so it was like, so now I can do what I'm doing because it's not an affair. It's something else. It's for my health, my benefit.
Right. As Jack, putting myself in Jack, it's like, this isn't just a side piece because it's making me happy. Therefore, my wife is happy and everybody around me is happy. So you're welcome that I'm having an affair. And why Michael can't get in his head that if he just has this relationship on the side, it would help him and he can handle his wife better. But plus, I think like I in my head, I was like, if we went and looked in Jack's house, as a gay man, being a womanizer for a little bit is kind of cool. Because I was like, because you know, if you went into Jack's backstory, he's not a very nice guy. And so in my head, I was like, "Ooh, this is juicy." Like,
You
Oh.
also have to think about the children. You can't affair or stuff like that, you know. It's not good on the children.
The kids? Sorry, did you mention the children?
The kids, yeah.
Yeah, because
Your
he's,
kids.
Do affairs and stuff like that. It's not good for the kids.
Oh,
you
okay.
can't tell
yeah. Only if they find out about it.
Only if they find out about it. There you go.
It's like Santa Claus. As long as you believe it exists, he exists. And as long as I believe that this relationship was good for everybody around me, then you're welcome. I will continue. But no, I said this before. It's when you folks invite me to read something, and it's like a good taco. Just bite into it, and then when you have folks like Donato that are easy to play with, it just makes it easier. It's great.
Yeah, it worked well. Definitely.
Question for the leads, for Emily and Michael. When you play in a characters, like when I play something like heavy and really tragic and difficult, do you find that it is what kind of wears you down inside to go into that character? And if it's not a comedy, it's not something that there's a lot of redeeming, and to get into that character and to stay in that character. Is it wearing away for you? And I mean, in the end, it's rewarding, but at the same time, do you feel that it sort of makes you feel like you're almost weeping inside as you're working on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, it's like the general state of my life.
Here.
You're laughing now. You're laughing
No,
now.
you didn't hear me? Okay, it's good. It's good. I didn't say it. Please answer.
Well, I was at a performance a couple of weeks ago where there was this young kid performing, and he was a drug addict. And he had a glass bowl in his hand. And at the very end, he's like struggling with needing to get another hit and begging for the drug. And at one point, right at his last line, he looks down in his hand and he says, "Oh, I'm bleeding." So during his struggle, he had broke that glass bowl in his hand and cut his hand, but didn't realize it until after he had finished the piece. So I think some actors can really get into their character like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called dangerous.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
had that happening with other actors. They've been told get out of acting and get into therapy. That's dangerous.
So our next one from Rex McGregor, Murder Runs in Our Family. A comedy about murder.
That was funny. That was funny. Definitely.
Is that from a real story, Rex?
Yes, it's actually based on ancient Greek mythology.
Oh.
So I don't know if any of you know the story of Orestes and Clytemnestra in ancient Troy. So all the business about the murders actually have an equivalent. So Forrest is Orestes and Clytie is Clytemnestra. So they all have equivalents.
Clever.
And that was the prompt from a theatre to write a contemporary story based on a Greek myth.
Interesting. Yeah.
Rex, do you find that most of your scripts are from other people's prompts, or do some of them, maybe percentage-wise, which ones just come to you and you just start writing?
Overall, most of them aren't with prompts, but there was a period, last year when I was doing a lot of writing to prompts, because there are a lot of, groups like this that were set up during the COVID lockdowns, and that's fallen away a little bit now, so I'm not writing to prompts nearly as much nowadays.
Okay. All right. And you've had another play open recently, haven't you, in a theater in New York?
Yeah, I had one in New York, yes. That was again based on prompts. The
Okay.
prompt for that was to write a play about a person from mythology in a service industry. So I got Cassandra working as a waitress, wait staff person.
Okay.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
I would think the woman with the snakes in her head, on her head.
Medusa.
Medusa. Now put her as a waitress in a restaurant. That would be fun.
Yeah, Cassandra's thing is that she can foretell the future,
Yeah.
but no one believes her. So there's a lot of fun to have, when no one believes what another character says.
Okay.
Don't have the soup of the day.
I actually wrote a play about a waitress that was psychic, and she's serving a bunch of people from a research institute who are researching the ideal that you can predict the future if you can, through math, figure out all the different points that have to lead up to something. And so all the time, this waitress is working with them, coming in with everything that they didn't order, but wanted to order, but forgot to order, but she brings it in anyway. The whole time this is going on, they're completely oblivious to the ideal that it's what they're trying to research is happening in front of them.
Yeah, that sounds like fun too, yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on Murder Runs in Our Family? We're losing our audience bit by bit, but
Tends to
Well,
happen.
it was a lot of fun to perform, that's for sure. And after I saw the script for the first time, I did do a little research on the mythology a little bit. And so I find out that Forrest, of course, may be on the losing end of this play, but eventually he ends up killing his mother.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't
So,
go there.
ouch.
I guess it does run in the family.
I like the fact that Heidi was that she, I don't know, that she didn't cower down. She was very feisty and ready to stand up for herself. I kind of like that as an older
Good for her.
character.
And I thought your portrayal of Clyde was very, very subtle.
Yeah.
I like that, you didn't go into any extreme. There's sort of like, this is the way it is.
Same
This
matter
is
of
the
fact.
way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we do in our family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just felt like he didn't, that I felt as if Forrest's character wouldn't really respond to histrionics, that he would sort of tune me out. I thought that was I know at times in my life, that was the only way to get someone's attention was the softer and quieter I spoke, the more they listened. When I was angry and upset, it was like, then it was, they didn't pay attention.
Because usually when you start yelling, then everybody else starts yelling to be heard.
Shout over you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I don't know if I can actually yell the loudest, so I always just spoke softly to get my point across.
Yeah, I've been trying to work that
That
out for what, 30, 35 years, but still working on it.
Well,
I love
because
that
you're
the
head of
state-
household, that's probably why.
What was that, Leslie?
I was going to say, I love that the stakes kept getting higher and higher and higher. It
Yeah.
was like, once it started going, it just kept going and going and going. Sometimes, it's the stakes don't come on until later in a piece, but it started at a level and then it just went from there. I love that. I love that it just kept going.
It was really fun to play. I mean, it just I've been a fan of Greek mythology and all the plays. I read all the Greek tragedies and the comedies, and I don't know why I went nuts on the Greeks for a couple of years. I couldn't stop. And when I saw this, I thought it was just absolutely brilliant and funny, and it was so fun to play.
Yeah.
This is really funny. In Argus, California, I had to go look it up. The median house price was $57,000. I was like, you can't even buy a garage in California, for that. And I thought, wow, there's a place like that, So how perfect is that? Not a soul a mile around because, yeah, that exists. That really exists.
Yeah, so what happened there is I took the original location of the Greek tragedy, which is Argos, Argos, in Greece, and just popped that into Wikipedia and thought, gee, I wonder if there's any place called Argos. And there's this place in California called Argus, Argus, and it's right next to Death Valley.
Yep.
Way out in the desert. So I thought, oh, this is going to be perfect setting. So I just took off from there. But it's interesting. Forrest's sister in the original her name is Electra. So to get something similar sounding to Electra, I came up with Alexa. But whenever it's done on Zoom, whenever anyone says Alexa, somebody's device wakes up. Happens every time.
Actually, I thought you were talking about the robot. I didn't realize it was a human being.
So we move on to the last one, the choice. I definitely made the effort not to cry at the end.
Oh, it's so sad, wasn't it? It really tugged at heartstrings. Oh my goodness me.
But
the loss.
Do you think, is the ending depressing, or is the ending kind of uplifting that someone has made a choice to go as they want to go?
It's uplifting.
Uplifting.
Yeah. Go on your own terms. I think that's really what it's all about, really.
Unless you think of the other part of what the choice might mean, which I watched your other version of it online, the original cast, and immediately I thought about the actress who just lost it. And I was watching the other actress who was staring at the sky, and the other choice that hit me was, is there a choice to not comforting her daughter like that? I mean, when I lost my mother to it was like cancer, but it was a very, very rare disease. So it presented as cancer, and I sort of lost her in parts. When I found out later that she had prepared her memorial with her home hospice worker and didn't tell me about that. And I was so close to her. She was my best girlfriend, and not to be included, because she talked to me about her dying and her death and her wishes all the time. And then when it finally came down to it and the reality of it, she left me out. So it meant a lot to me that, in your play, the mother allowed the daughter to be there and allowed the family to be part of that choice. But when the daughter is so distressed and so like, no, I don't do this, or I've got to get you medical help, I got call an ambulance. The mother is not giving the kind of sympathy. I lived something like that because I needed that from my mom, and she left not giving me that. And so I wondered, that's the second part of the choice.
Yeah.
About what kind of decision the mother is going to give her survivors when she's all of sound mind, and she's going to do what she wants to do for herself. But what is the daughter feeling? What could she have done to make it easier for the daughter?
And sometimes you address, whilst they may be in pain and they make that choice, it's my life, I will make that choice. You can't help but think, are they being a little selfish?
I think they are. But there's also the ideal, if they chose not to go that way, then their family has to be there and watch them gradually fade away, and sometimes in a terrific amount of pain. So
and not being themselves at all, because with all the chemo, and this happened to my son, and you become the person that you don't even recognize, not only physically but emotionally, and because they have so much chemo, so many different types. I mean, he had so many different types, and he had different side effects every single time, and they were dreadful. And it's not a life. It's really not about, and he died 2 years ago. Then my niece died a year ago, and now I have cancer. So I've had to think about all these, how the ending will be. I mean, having watched my son and my niece very recently go through all that, and I think, I'm fortunate in that I haven't had to have chemo yet. I have immunotherapy, which doesn't have the side effects, but if I am given the choice of having chemo, I don't think I'll go through that, because I've seen, I've just seen it too, like you, with your mum. I just seen it up too close and personal, and it's not pleasant at all for anybody.
Which was why I hesitated in offering you.
I know, you told me, yeah.
And I'm glad that we checked in with each other to make sure it was something, that you would want to perform in. And I'm really glad that you chose.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. That's really sweet. Thank you for sharing. I know someone, this was a long time ago, and they deliberately chose not to have chemo. And even though the medical professional said, this is an option you must consider, her family said, it is really up to you, but we know what it will do to you. And then she said, no, I want to be home with my family.
Yeah.
And that's the choice she made. She said she didn't want to die in a strange place.
Yeah.
She wanted to be at home with her family, with her grandkids as much as possible, etc. So, that's a choice that she made, and her family respected it.
Yeah. Quite right.
And also, thank you. Just one more comment is, when I read the script, when I first read the script, and I was trying to figure out what the story was really about, and I wasn't really figuring out until the very end. It shows the mother was, she did her by herself. So I feel in that way it's kind of like I'm not saying it's similar to a psychological thriller, that it gave you a twist at the very end, or surprises you about how this character eventually, what she actually done. I mean, so all her prior conversations started to make sense about her recollection of her past life. I think she was really missing Alexander, right? Or her longtime husband partner. So I think to me, a very good psychological drama thriller or romance stories is the ending surprise you, but it started making everything that happened before started to make sense. So I think that's the script. That's why I feel like, this is actually a very, very moving, well thought story. That's the way, because I'm not a playwright, but I feel like, to me, that's the part that that's what I like about this story, is the way how the story was unfolded, and then it's sort of at the end wake me up from this tragic but beautiful, very human story. That's what I take from it. Okay.
And you played the part very well. It's sort of like, when Marcia started screaming at you, are you here? Are you here? And you're going, what's going on? And that's what that character is. It's sort of like, I'm over here with my cell phone in my own little world. I've always been left out of this conversation. So,
and then he eventually realized, oh my God, something serious really happening.
Right.
I must be part of his family. I must be getting serious, I think.
Right.
I think her mother's final wish or something brings everyone together. To me, that's kind of in that way. It's like
quite powerful.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
So, Deborah, you coming back?
Me?
Yes, yes.
Me?
yes.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
sure,
both of
sure.
you. Both of you.
Yeah, I'm happy to continue the collaboration. That next time, if there's a role that you think I fit in
So-
good, and I will do it.
The only thing I need to understand is if I see more than one play listed, it's all going to be done on the same day. Is that correct?
Usually the writers don't start posting until after the last, our last Sunday. So everything new that gets posted is going to be for July.
Okay, but all on one day?
Yes.
Like today, yes.
Yeah. And we usually do between 4 and 5 plays.
Oh.
Now, when it gets down to crunch time and not all the parts are filled, or if someone doesn't show up, like what happens today, then we start considering doubling up. But I try not to double up in the very beginning to give more people the chance to grab something if they want it. Plus, when we do the breakout rooms, it's very difficult to rehearse in 2 rooms. So that's the main reason. And also, we tried to keep the writer to one piece also, but sometimes we doubled up on that also. Depends on how many get submitted. I might end up throwing in 2 if we don't have enough. So I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yes, it was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good,
Stephen.
yeah. Good mix today, definitely.
Well, just keep
Right.
looking at
Thank
the
you, everyone.
Facebook post. Wait for the writers to post, and if you see something, just grab it.
Okay, will do.
Yeah. Next.
I changed my name.
Thank
now.
you, Stephen. Thank you, everyone. You were
Stephen.
great.
Thank you, everybody.
See you next time.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.